Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be extremely awkward around girls. Got an email here from a viewer. He says, "Hey Coach, first off, I'd like to say that I find your video information very insightful, and I respect your often brutal frankness and honesty." Well, I tell it like it is, and I only got a short few minutes to talk to people and to make an impact. And if I see somebody who's bullshitting themselves or just completely fucking up or saying something stupid or ridiculous, I'm going to call them out on it, because it doesn't serve them for me to blow a sunshine or smoke up their asses, and I just simply tell it like it is. That's the way I am, whether it's on video, I'm like this in person. Some people get offended at it, but I really don't fucking care what people think, because at the end of the day, the only person's opinion that should matter to you in your life is your own. It's how you feel about yourself. People that really love you and really care about you and are there for you, they'll love you no matter how you show up. People that complain, oh, you shouldn't talk like that, you shouldn't be this way, you shouldn't do that, fuck them. Get those weak-ass people out of your life. Because these are weak, phony-ass fucking people that aren't comfortable in their own skin, and so they try to get everybody else around them to act phony and inauthentic just like them, and I just have a low fucking tolerance for that. And besides, when you act congruent with who you really are, and you say who you are and what you feel, and without any fear of other people accepting you, and even when people protest and they say they don't like you the way you are, I don't care. Go talk to somebody else then. Women will find you a lot more attractive if you are that way, as opposed to you trying to bend yourself into a pretzel to become what you think you need to become for other people to like you. He says, "I'm a 40-something male who throughout my entire life has never done well with girls or women." He says, I had a serious bike accident in my early teens which left one of my legs shorter than the other. However, even before the accident, I was extremely awkward around girls, and the accident only made things worse, if you can imagine. Well, I know this little short guy. He's about like this big. His name is Sean, and he can't even walk. He's in a fucking wheelchair. His tongue is like too big for his mouth, and so like when he talks, his tongue like kind of protrudes and sticks out, and he's a little hard to understand. But he's had like a ridiculous amount of fucking health problems his whole life. And like when he sits, so it's like whenever he goes out with us, he's now married. Whenever he goes out with his wife, she has to pick him up and carry him, like if they want to go to bed or have sex or whatever. And so he's like a little doll to her in essence, but she loves this fucking shit out of him, and he's happily married. And he makes speeches and he does public presentations. He's a fucking incredible guy. And you're not that fucked up physically, so you don't have any reason to bitch or to fucking whine, because this thing about your leg is just part of your story. You're going, oh, it's because my leg's short, that's why I'm not successful with women. No, it's the way you're interacting with women that's communicating weakness and that you're unsure of yourself, and that's why women treat you the way they treat you. I've got a buddy of mine who got fucking blown up in Iraq. He's got a glass eye. Like one of them, he's a little overweight. One of his nipples is like up here and the other one's here. He's got all these fucking scars on his chest. He spent 1.5 years in Walter Reed. He gets fucking laid left and right. He doesn't fucking care what other people think. He just says it like it is. Some people get offended, and when they get offended, he doesn't really fucking care. And that's his attitude. That's his mindset. And as a man, you can't give a shit what other people think about you, because like I said, it doesn't matter. The only person's opinion that matters is the opinion that you carry of yourself. Everybody else's opinion is suspect, and that's the way you should operate from. Because otherwise, you end up getting yourself into situations where you're constantly trying to conform to society or what other people think you should be. And number one, you'll never be happy doing that. You got to be who you are. You must be who you are. What you should be is not important. He says, after seemingly countless rejections, I finally took the hint that females just don't see or like me that way, and the few that were at least cordial ended up being just friends. Needless to say, this was and is a very frustrating position to endure for much of my life, to say the least. Well, the simple solution is that the strategy that you're employing to attract women is not working, and therefore you need to fucking change it. And you've got some pretty deep-seated beliefs that you've spent several decades of your life using positive reinforcement, and so it's like you trained your mind to look for reasons why you won't or can't be successful with women. And I would encourage you to download and read my ebook as a jumping off point, because that will give you the baseline knowledge. And I guarantee you, once you read my book, you go, holy shit. You'll realize all of the little mistakes, things you said, things you've done over the past. Like all the light bulbs will go off in your head and you'll go, oh, okay, now I see where I've been going wrong. Now I see why women keep blowing me off and putting me in friend zone. Is because you act like the little needy nice guy who's seeking the approval of women. And if you have that attitude and that mindset, and you have a belief that says, I don't deserve to have a beautiful girl, then everything you do, everything you say, and how you show up is going to communicate that to women. And they have no choice but to agree with you. So go to my website right now, and on the right-hand side underneath the email sign-up box is a box that has a link that will take you right to the download page for my book. Once you get there, if you don't have an Amazon Kindle device, you can download one of their free e-reader apps for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install it and complete the purchase of my book. So that should be your starting point. And you need to read my book 10 to 15 times so you get to know the information so well, you literally could teach it yourself. Because when you're talking to a girl, you don't have time to sit there and go, gee, what was on page 200? Not that you have to memorize it, but you have to understand the stuff backwards and forwards, because there's information about pickup skills, there's information about dating skills, and there's information about relationships, and you need to know all three of those. Because if you don't understand all three, you're going to fuck up at the different phases of a relationship. He says, I tell myself it's better to have women platonically than not at all. Fuck that, dude. I've tried eye contact, self-confidence, self-love, acceptance, humor, being interesting, etc. to no avail. Apparently, whatever I got, they don't want. Well, like I said, you just simply have not been successfully employing the things that I teach. Regardless, I have always enjoyed the company of women, and when attracted, have made it a point not to fall into the nice guy trap for all the good it does. But lately, it seems I can't even sustain a friend zone relationship anymore. Like, why would you want to be in friend zone with a girl that's not into you? Because here's the deal. When you continue to hang out with women who you've tried to pick up and they give you the let's just be friends speech, but yet you still like them, they can tell you still want them. And since you've gone so many years without any success, you're constantly communicating neediness, and deep down they can tell that you're hoping that eventually they'll change their minds about you. And it's like the fact that you continue to hang out with women like this communicates that you're not a high status male, and that you don't, just like you said in your letter, you don't feel you deserve it because of your short leg or whatever. And if the guy was telling you about Sean, who's in a wheelchair and the guy can't even fucking walk and get married to a hot girl and inspire people all over the world like he's doing, it's like you got no fucking excuses. Like my buddy that got blown up in Iraq, if he can do it, you can do it. So stop your fucking whining. Read my book. Also, I want you to I did a video a while back called Improving Your Social Skills. It's on YouTube. So Google Corey Wayne, Improving Your Social Skills. Watch that video and go to the mall and practice that stuff once a week, every weekend. If you go on Saturday and Sunday and just practice for an hour or two, do it. Repetition's the mother of skill. And so you need to start practicing the things that I teach instead of sitting on your ass saying, oh, nothing ever worked for me, and this is the way it's going to be. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And you're obviously expecting things to get better by employing the same strategy that hasn't worked for the past 25 years for you. He said, the few women in my friendship only circle either don't answer or don't return my calls anymore. Yeah, I mean, if you talk to them like you're talking to me, it's like you're basically saying, hey, I'm a loser, but hopefully you want to hang out with me. That's what you're communicating here. He says, believe me when I tell you I want women in my life. Obviously, you wrote to me. I get it. And now I'm in my 40s. I want them even more. What the hell am I doing wrong that I can't even stay in the friend zone? I would rather... It seems like... Instead, you look at the question, what am I doing wrong? So you're telling your brain to look for everything you've been doing wrong. How about this? What am I doing right that women like? So I can do more of that and less of the things that's turning them off. If you read my book, you would start to see what you're doing wrong. He said, I would rather have my cake and eat it too, if you know what I mean, but apparently that's not an option for me. It's like, you're saying, well, I'm writing a new chord, but it's probably not going to work anyways. I mean, think about it, dude. It's like you're totally psyching yourself out. The past does not equal the future. Right now is a new moment. So go to my website, download the book, start reading it, watch the video, improving your social skills, which I did. Like I said, you can go to Google Corey Whine, improving your social skills. Watch that video, get your ass to the mall, and start practicing it and start talking to people wherever you go. And forget about dating women, forget about asking women out for right now. I want you to just practice talking to people and getting people to talk, just like I talk about in the video, because then you'll see it's really not that hard. It's not that difficult. And as you practice, repetition is a mother of skill, and you start to see it's really not a big deal, and people will talk to you wherever you go. Then you can take it to the next step, because at the end of the day, not every woman's going to like you. You have to, on a scale of 1 to 10, you got to be at least a 5 or better in a woman's book. And it's an instantaneous thing. You're either a 5 or better, or you're not. And by applying the stuff I teach in my book, you'll find out as quick as possible whether you got a chance or you're not. Because when you meet a chick, you just simply want to know, you're not going to say it this way, but it's like, honey, are you in or are you out? That's what you want to know. If you're in, great. Get the number, make a date, move on. And if you're not, hey, nice chatting with you, see you later, boom. You move on to the next one. It's simply a numbers game. You have to get through the no's to get to the yeses. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and follow the instructions. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these videos and these articles that are on my website and my ebook, you can show your appreciation by going to my website, and on the Wibbia toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen on any page of my website, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.